Hello doll fans and welcome back to Beauty Inside a Box. Today we're talking about cancelled dolls. And I don't mean cancelled in like the kind of modern way. These dolls weren't cancelled, but they were cancelled. These are unreleased dolls that got quite far into production, but then ultimately they weren't released. In an alternate timeline in the doll multiverse, maybe these dolls exist, but in our reality, these dolls were never produced. Some of them I'm like, yeah, I see it. It's not that good of a doll. Some of them I'm like, oh, I wish this doll was released so that I could buy it. I'm getting serious FOMO looking through these dolls. So please let me know in the comments if you wish that any of these dolls were released in real life. With some help from my friends, I managed to find a whole bunch of these unreleased dolls. Too many to fit into one video, so the second half of this video, the rest of these unreleased dolls are going to be on my Patreon. If you love dolls as much as I do, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check me out on Instagram and TikTok. And of course, check out my Patreon. The tiers start from just £3. I have 3 exclusive videos on there right now, and I'm of course working on another one currently. If you want to check out any of that exclusive content, please subscribe to my Patreon. Anyway, let's talk about some unreleased dolls. And in this video, we have Bratz, we have Barbie, we have Disney dolls. There's a lot to talk about. First of all, quick disclaimer, some of these images were probably never meant to be seen by the public, and the picture quality is pretty bad. It's pretty bad, so sorry about that. I tried to find the best quality images I could, but it was hard. Anyway, first of all, we have this doll from spring 2010. This is Modern Princess Barbie. She's got sideways glancing eyes, which is kind of unusual for Barbies around this time. I actually really like this dress. I like the materials that are being used here. It looks like kind of silky material, and she's got these cool like high heels. I have a feeling that this doll was reworked and became the fashion fairy tale doll because it's a very similar vibe. We also have some illustrations here from Angela Chang. These are obviously meant to be like co-star, like slightly more budget dolls from this line. For the film Barbie in a Christmas Carol, there was also meant to be a best friend doll. I can't remember the name of this character, but she's basically like Bob Cratchit in the story. And I'm really sad this doll wasn't made because I think this is a really beautiful doll and the dress looks really detailed and intricate. And obviously it's got a little bit of a Victorian kind of vibe because that's when the story's set. I really like this Barbie movie, so I would have loved more dolls from it. Next up, we have some images of prototype, unreleased, kind of Dreamtopia style dolls. These are so slay. I'm obsessed. These are like little pieces of art. I don't even mind the fact that the fashions are like drawn on because they're so kind of fantastical, very whimsical, very fantasy. This one's top is really, really revealing. Oh my goodness. I kind of love that for her. She's got a bit of a wintry theme. This mermaid, her tail is so awesome, and I love this face mold and the hair. I love the colors as well and the see-through plastic on the tail. And this one kind of looks jellyfish themed, which I love, like so inventive and creative. Like, where is the creativity with Barbie dolls today? Like, where is it? Next up, we have these Global Frequency dolls. I think it was meant to be similar to the Generation Girls in that it was kind of celebrating globalization. I love the one from London because I'm from London and it's very punk, very cool. And then we've got one that is from Tokyo, I think, and she's really cool. They have a very interesting, unique body mold, which I don't think was used again. These might be the body molds that were used for the Pop Idol dolls. They're very interesting, and it's a shame these dolls were never released. Next up, we have movie star Barbie and friends. These dolls are interesting. Apparently they had skirts that could be made longer or shorter. Interesting gimmick. I'm not really sure how that would work, but I really love the colors. I will say I love the colors. Not keen on the fact that their top is just like printed onto their body. It also looks like they came with little skirts that you could attach little charms to. There's quite a few different gimmicks going on here, and I think that's maybe why they decided to scrap this doll line. and turn these gimmicks into separate dolls. Next up, we have the Beyond Pink Barbie dolls. These obviously were released, but in a completely different form, completely different style. And apparently Brandy was meant to be part of this line with Barbie. I kind of love that. And I really like these outfits. I love the colors. I love the butterflies in their hair and on their tops. I absolutely would buy these. I actually prefer these to the Beyond Pink dolls that we ended up getting. Next up, we have this like hard rock Ken doll. He looks a bit like Billy Ray Cyrus in the 90s. I'm not surprised they didn't release this because it's a Ken, and like, who cares about Ken? No, that's bad. I care about Ken. Next up, we have Really Rad Barbie. These dolls are kind of infamous in the doll community. They were eventually retooled and released as the Generation Girls, but they were meant to be a kind of step forward for Barbie. They apparently, it says here, have new face molds, new body molds, and kind of new modern style. They're very high quality. Like, I really like these dolls. They're really cute. But one thing I will say is these don't look like new body molds to me. Apparently they have flat feet, but Barbie's definitely in heels. And apparently they have slightly more realistic body proportions. I'm not sure if I see that here. And the face molds don't look that different to ones we saw before in the 90s. So I don't know. I really love the fashions and I would have loved to see this line released, but I think in terms of like big leaps forward in diversity and inclusion for Barbie, this isn't really it. Unless these were just prototypes and, you know, the body molds weren't used for these images. I have to say the Christie doll does have a new hair texture. You know, Barbie hadn't really done much of that before. So there you go, that's good. All of these dolls also came with beepers, which are a very 90s piece of technology. Okay, here we have Barbie, and she came with a locker, which had an extra outfit, interchangeable outfit pieces inside. And this doll actually, again, was like reworked and became Secret Style Barbie. So we still got this doll, and I think I do prefer the color scheme that we ended up getting. The color scheme before is a little bit dark for Barbie. Okay, I found this very interesting, but in 2009, Barbie was meant to get a new face mold. Loads of prototype dolls were made with this new face mold. And I have a feeling that this face mold was meant to replace the face mold from 2008, which was received really badly by fans. So they created this face mold. There was a smiling version that showed teeth and one that didn't, but they ended up scrapping this face mold and it was never seen again. And they just went back to using the Generation Girl face mold instead. But interesting, in an alternate reality, in 2009, Barbie would have had a completely different face. I'm kind of glad they didn't use this face mold because I think it's, I don't know, it doesn't look like Barbie to me. It's not ugly, but it doesn't look like Barbie. Here is a Barbie salon set, and you can see the two dolls. These are unreleased dolls. They have like ultra long hair, cool like 3/4 length trousers, tops with only one sleeve. I think these dolls look really cool. I love any Barbie with like ultra super long hair. I would have absolutely bought these. Really sad they weren't released. Maybe again they were retooled and became something else, like the Cool Clips line or something. Okay, next we have some Bratz dolls. This is a Popstar Bratz doll that would have come with a little MP3 player with a USB plug that you could wear around your neck. I mean, iconic. This is so like late 2000s, and her outfit is very late 2000s. I would have bought this doll, absolutely. It's not as stylish as, you know, Bratz could be, but she's cool. Next up, we have a Bratz Twins set that was never released. These are really cute. I love the patches on their jeans. I have the first Bratz Twins set, and I have to say I definitely prefer them to this one. But these are cute. Here we have some unreleased Ever After High dolls. This is obviously towards the end of the doll's life. I actually quite like these. They don't look as cheap as some of the dolls we got towards the end of Ever After High, but you know, they're not super imaginative. Okay, here is an unreleased prototype for a Mattel Little Mermaid doll from 1993. Rather interestingly, they were originally going to use the Skipper body and face mold. I love her super long hair, I will say that, but I'm glad Mattel gave Ariel her own body mold and face mold in the end, instead of just reusing Skipper's. Skipper, in my head canon, is like 13 as well, and Ariel's a little bit older than that. I like the look of this doll, but I'm glad she wasn't released, and they took their time and then released really nice quality Ariel dolls in 1997. Okay, so this is a collector's edition Esmeralda doll that was meant to be released around the time the film came out, which I think was 1997 or 1996. I love this. I love Esmeralda. We need more Esmeralda dolls. And this design is stunning. So cool. I love the bright colors. It's giving Festival of Fools. I absolutely would have bought this doll, like without a doubt. There was also meant to be a Peter Pan mermaid doll. I understand why they didn't end up making this doll, because the mermaids only appear in the film for like a really short moment, and they're actually not very nice. But this doll, removed from the context of the film, is really stunning. I want this doll. I do want this doll. There was also meant to be a Tiger Lily doll. The representation for Native Americans in that film is questionable, so maybe it's good they didn't make dolls, but she's cute. There was also going to be a Barbie dressed as one of the tour guides from Disneyland. I've never seen a tour guide dressed like this. Maybe they don't dress like this anymore, or maybe they just don't dress like this in Disneyland Paris, which is the park I go to, but this is cute. There was also meant to be a Ken dressed as a Jungle Cruise skipper. Kind of random. There was originally plans to make Centaur dolls from Fantasia, and I kind of live for this. It's so camp. That film has also not aged amazingly well, but this doll would have been cool. I can imagine a whole kind of like Centaur line. There was also meant to be a Jafar like fashion pack. This is kind of hideous. Not a fan. So there we have it, doll fans. I spoke about some unreleased, cancelled dolls. What could have been? I do have some major FOMO because some of those dolls were stunning. Let me know if you would have bought any of those dolls if they existed in the real world. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new here. Check me out on Instagram and TikTok, and check out my Patreon. You can also check out some more unreleased dolls over on my Patreon. And I will see you real soon, doll fans. Mwah.